Guys, Scorched Trials is the second in the Maze Runner series. I just wanted to know, how familiar are you with the books?
Very familiar with the books. I read the first two books just in preparation for the movie, just to kind of get an idea and a sense of where my character was going and what elements of the character from the books I can put into the movie. So we had to take a little bit of creative liberties because we can't obviously fit all of the elements of the book into the movie. Some things work, some things don't. So we kind of took elements of both the second and third and just picked the best ones. And fans have been very clear about some of the elements of the books that they loved, and we try to put that in the movie. So hopefully the fans are pleased because.
Yeah, we've got little bits and pieces, like a haberdashery or something. It's kind of
Oh,
a mixture.
nice! Yeah, it's a good mixture.
Do you ever feel like you're letting down the fans when there's things that aren't in the book, in the films that are in the books?
I think from our own, mine anyway, interaction with the fans, I think they're quite understanding with it. And also we have James Dashner, the author's blessing as well. He's fully supportive of our films and of our creative choices that he understands that we have to make in order to turn a book, which is completely different to a film, into a movie. They're just two very different things, and there have to be some changes just in order for it to work as a movie.
What were the big changes that you noticed this time around from the first film in terms of the scale of this project? It feels a lot bigger. Is it a bigger project?
Yeah, it is. But I mean, we had double the budget, and I think that just gives Wes a lot more to play with. And also, we're painting a much bigger. Well, we're painting the world, whereas before we were painting a very insular world.
Very incubated world.
Incubated, yeah. I mean, very, very much a kind of confined within this. That was the feel of it. Whereas this is about openness. Is about the expansion of the landscape, and we're able to see the horizon for the first time ever, but that's partly what's so scary is that we don't know what's beyond it. We don't know if there's anyone beyond it or anything.
Mm-hmm. It's a film not just aimed at young audiences. Obviously, it's for a wide variety of people. But I just want to know what sort of films you were interested in when you were younger. What films were you watching when, say, 5-10 years ago?
5-10 years ago, how old was I? 25. I was 15. I was always... Sorry, I had to do a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I gave you two numbers, that's why. It's my fault. Let's stick with 10 years ago. What were you watching 10 years ago?
I don't know. What was I watching 10 years ago? 50... I liked Harold and Maude at that point. And Withnell and I. And yeah, it's, films about like story and characters, and not an awful lot happens in both of those films. But I just, I've always liked the fact that you can just quite happily sit there for, just under 2 hours and watch these weird people go about their lives in such a strange way. And it's I don't know, I just always loved that. I mean, but before then, I was a huge Star Wars fan. That's an epic saga, and, it's completely different. So yeah, that's the thing I was watching.
What about yourself 10 years ago? What were you watching?
All I remember is there was this one summer that my mom literally took me to the movie theater every day that summer.
Really?
And
Every day?
Yeah, this was when movies were really cheap. Wow. And I just remember watching like all sorts of movies. I remember like Apollo 13. There's a Power Rangers movie that I saw. There was I don't know. That summer I almost just literally saw all movies. And I think that's where like my love of film started, with just hanging out with my mom. I think because she likes movies as well, and so ever since then I've just devouring these movies,
Mm-hmm.
But
Thomas, you mentioned Star Wars, and you mentioned some sci-fi movies as well,
yeah.
or special effects movies.
Yeah.
Does it take away a bit of the magic working on films like this, or do you get a newfound respect for them?
You were saying the other day how you kind of felt that in some ways.
What do you
mean? Just about like when you see like behind the scenes shots and stills and think, oh wow, that looks so cool, and then when you're
right. Yeah, now that you've gone through it, it's like you see the picture now, and it's like, oh, it's just me and my buddies just working, But then when you see the movie, though, then it's when you realize, wow, like, I'm working on this movie, this cool sci-fi movie, and it looks great, it looks amazing. That's when the magic of it comes back a little bit, But I think a big credit goes to Wes Ball, because if it wasn't in his hands, it wouldn't be a great movie, in my opinion. What about, I don't know.
No, I did think that the first time I ever got into film and TV and stuff, and first time saw behind the camera. I thought it did ruin some stuff, but I don't think it does. In fact, I have a greater understanding of the processes involved, and how many people are involved in trying to make one little project work. And so I think I just appreciate it even more now.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,